Hello everyone and welcome to something a little bit different than my usual Star Wars reviews. First and foremost, this is going to be my very first uploaded video on myself and Rasputin37's joint account, Ghostwalker37. Since this channel is mostly for vlogs, custom tutorials, Q&A sessions and stuff like that, I figured that it'd be more logical to post the video that I'm about to do on this channel. This video is a follow-up to my Getting to Know Star Wars fan video that I did back on my SithLord229 account. This time around, rather than a video response, this is a video that I've done myself, based on questions that were sent to me by one of my subscribers, Jedi Master 351 if I'm not mistaken. He sent me these questions, I read through them and I thought that they could warrant some interesting answers, so I'm going to go ahead and answer them to the best of my ability. Question 1 is about how much do you think you've spent on your collection? I'm not entirely sure how much I've spent, but I'm definitely going to say in the thousands. We're talking triple figures. As I said, I wouldn't like to put a number on it, but I'm going to say definitely over £5,000, easily. Because if you work it out, on average £7 per figure, £20 per vehicle, with the odd large scale vehicle thrown in at about £100, £150, something like that. It soon adds up, and considering how much stuff I've got in my collection, it easily warrants being in the thousands. Question number 2 is about how many figures do you have? Well, I don't know if you can see it behind me, but I've got my clones on display. Just turn the camera around a little bit so you can see them. On that shelf alone, there are about 300 figures. Just see them behind me there as well. There's about 300 figures on that shelf, and I do have a lot more than that. I've got some packed away in storage, and I've got a lot of them scattered around my shelves and in cubby holes and all that kind of stuff. So at a guess, this is another guess, I'm probably going to say about 700 to 800 figures, because as I said, there's a lot more than what's on the shelf behind me. Question number 3 is, did you ever watch Star Wars before you decided to collect? I don't remember whether I was collecting at the time, but I did go and see the original 3 Star Wars movies at the cinema when they were re-released as the special editions back in '97. As I said, I can't remember whether I was collecting at that time. I don't know whether it was later on or a bit earlier than that when I started collecting, so I'm not quite sure. What I do know is though that I started playing the video game Jedi Knight, Dark Forces 2 and the expansion pack Mysteries of the Sith. I did start playing those before I started collecting, but as I said, I'm not sure whether I went to see the movies before I did. Question number 4, how many vehicles do you have? When I did my last vehicle collection update, I had about 20, 30, 35 at a maximum, and obviously I've bought a lot more vehicles since then, so I'm going to say about 35, 40, 45 probably pushing it, but around that area, if you include all the smaller vehicles like the bark speeders and the staps and all that kind of stuff. Question number 5 is, where do you do most of your Star Wars shopping? There are 3 main shops that I get my Star Wars stuff from, and that I check regularly for new stock, and that is Toys R Us, Forbidden Planet and a store here in the UK called The Entertainer. Toys R Us is usually a bit lackluster for stock, as is The Entertainer. Toys R Us is getting better now because they're starting to stock up on all the 2009 stuff. Forbidden Planet is excellent, they have a great selection of Star Wars. It might not be the biggest selection in the world, but they do have a really nice section there for Star Wars. Maybe only have one of each figure, but they have a wide selection. You can get Legacy Collection figures, 30th Anniversary Collection figures, Battle Packs, Comic Packs, you name it, they've got it, So that is the main place that I get my Star Wars stuff from, if Toys R Us are a bit shaky for stuff. And question number 6, do you ever sit down and practice your reviews before you do them? No, I don't. I don't sit down in front of the camera before I've turned it on, start showing the figures, practice my lines or script my lines or whatever. They're completely unscripted. You know, I just sit back, relax, and go with the flow when I do a review, and just say the first thing that comes to my head, really. And finally, question number 7: is it hard to pick a figure to review? For me personally, it's not so hard, because obviously I've slowed down a bit with the amount of reviews that I do. So the upcoming list that I have on my channel often gets very big, and it's usually full of all the stuff that I've recently purchased, because I like to be up to date with all the stuff, so that I can give you a look at it, because odds are you're not going to find some of the older stuff in the stores anymore. So the people who watch my videos, 9 times out of 10 are going to want to see the new stuff that they can get their hands on now, rather than old stuff that they're going to have to search eBay 10 times for. So for me, it's not hard to pick one, because I just review what I've recently bought. But I'm sure for some people who have to, you know, sit down and look around the collection and think, what can I review? You know, I'm sure it does get a little bit hard for them, but for me personally, it's not hard at all. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've found it useful. I hope you've got a few more answers out of me. Again, thanks to Jedi Master 351 for supplying the questions. Feel free to post your own video response to this if you wish. And until my next review, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.